Yo, welcome back, mere mortalites. I have a wonderful conversation to talk to you about today, which is running, running, running. It is now 1 week less, 5 days. I'm T minus 5 days for a half marathon. My first half marathon that's actually, an official half marathon. I have run a half marathon distance once, which was on a treadmill, and I stopped and got off and got some water and drinks maybe 5 or 6 times, and it was 2 hours and 20 something minutes, something around that target. So that was 3 years ago now, and the aim for this particular phase of running, I prepared or have prepared for around 16 weeks. And the aim was, go and complete and do the half marathon I'm doing with a good friend of mine, Manshil. And a couple of weeks ago, so the reason I want to sort of put this one together is to kind of lay the groundwork of where it all sort of started, where I'm up to now with that particular bit of training, some of the challenges around that, and sort of recording this as well just before, so I can kind of amp myself up in readiness for it. So the training plan that I put together was something that I'd also similarly done now for a couple of years. I've previously put together a plan where I wanted to do a marathon distance, and I didn't go through that particular plan fully. There's just a time and place for it. But as of late, the running plan or the running phase that I've been doing, it's generally been a longish run on a Monday, a bit more speed work on a Tuesday, nothing on a Wednesday, long run on a Thursday, very light on a Friday, and then sometimes a longish run on the weekends. And that's basically what it's been through the entire plan in preparation for the half marathon. When I started the half marathon plan, I could do around a 5 kilometer run without stopping. So just to give you an idea. And the longest I have run in this particular preparation has been 13 kilometers. Now, that isn't very long if you actually think about what the half marathon distance is. I believe as part of the plan, I'm talking like a half marathon plan, I should have been doing an 18 to a 19 kilometer, but I just didn't. And that gets me to a little bit of more of why I wanted to record this, which is the half marathon plan. And again, a plan is a plan until plan is good until it gets punched in the face, life goes and hits it, and then you have to do something about it. And so I was following the plan really quite religiously and well for many, many weeks. And that was until around 5 or 6 weeks ago. And 5 or 6 weeks ago, the usual things begin to happen, which is life. Sickness and lack of sleep, more work. We bought a new home, so we were moving, stresses of life. There was final preparations for our wedding, for our honeymoon, for our travels, and top it all off, all of a sudden, 2 weeks ago, I woke up and my 3 toes on my left foot, from the small ones, the small little toe onwards, all of a sudden just massive pain through them. Could barely bend them. Had my personal doctor, good old GPT, checking in on me, and after doing some assessments with it, seemed like there was a bit of a strain on the metatarsals, right? So did the various things, which meant stopping running, doing a lot more bike work, just to try to keep that cardio up. Managed to get over it roughly 7 days, and made sure I had to do the contrast, ice and heat, and also some of the foot arch lifts to try and make sure that it was strong and ready to go. And just as soon as it was ready to actually get back into movement, bang, sickness, which leads me right now. Still sick. T minus 5 days. I'm very sick. We had a terrible amount of sleep last night, again, with our family all being quite sick. And it leads me to think, man, last time I did the preparation for what I was running, whether it was marathon distance or just a longer distance, that one was less troubled in terms of the time of my life at that time. I wasn't really sick. There was ample time for me to be doing things. Right now, there's lots of restrictions on my time to be able to do any of these sort of runs. I've got lots of other commitments. I've had some sickness. I've had some injuries. But this particular phase, I've been able to prevail, and get to the half marathon, which I'm still, fingers crossed, knock on some wood, that we're still going to be able to get there. Why is it? Why is it that this time around I was able to do it, whereas perhaps prior to when I've done other running phases, I haven't? One, I would probably say doing it with a friend doing it with someone that is going to hold you accountable to actually showing up. If I didn't have my friend who was doing the half marathon, there is a good part of me that would have gone, you know what? I'm not doing it. Just give away the ticket. Like, even timing wise, it's right before we travel overseas. So it's a bit of a pain to get all the way to the location to then come back home and fly out in 10 hours, right? So it's a pain. It's a bit of a pain to actually get and logistically to do it all. So that would have made me kick a bucket. Sickness, maybe some of the injuries. Mentally, I might have just started to pull myself back away from it. But the fact that a friend is doing it would mean also letting him down. And often humans, mere mortalites, as much as we detest letting ourselves down, or perhaps some, we do detest letting ourselves down to an extent. We also really hate letting other people down, or at least I hope you do, mere mortalites, if you're listening to this. I hate letting other people down. You might also be a general people pleaser. That's probably where I fall as well. A bit of that bucket of people pleasing, where if someone's said to you like, oh, could you do this? Or I really want that. You'll probably lean towards like, yeah, I'll help you, as opposed to just being supremely selfish, right? So I think it's paid dividends that I've had someone else who is pursuing, and we have run a couple of times just around my area and other places, and that's been really good for getting in those kilometers for extra running. So that, fantastic. I think that's a big difference. The second one is, and I'd probably say just as equivalent in terms of size and breadth of what I'm doing, is last time I was running, I was unable to let go of my other training modalities, which meant for me, I was doing a lot of bodybuilding style lifting and Olympic lifting, and I did not take them away. I kept them as I was doing and tried to improve on them while still trying to run and increase the volume. And so that spelled chaos, because not only did I not have enough time, even though I had ample time then, I still didn't have enough time for what I was trying to do during that timing. And I didn't get seriously injured, but my body was continuously ravaged and sore because I cannot hold up a volume of more running, but also all of this extra lifting that I was doing. It was just not working for me. Some people out there can tolerate that level of volume. Your professionals doing way higher volumes, but my level of sleep and ability to focus on just that training versus work or other stresses of life, it just wasn't there. So previously, I think I shot myself in the foot. This one though, this time around, where we stand today, I have been able to, for whatever reason, I think maybe it's the commitment that I'm going to do it, I have been able to take back the amount of training that I'm doing in my other modalities. What does that mean? My Olympic lifting has reduced down to 1 day a week, and it's very constrained. And the rest of my training phases, which is sort of more like bodybuilding, general gym going, that has also pulled back by about 50%. So to give you an idea, prior to doing a lot more of this running, I would train for around 60 minutes, 70 minutes, include some Olympic lifting and some stretching. 80 minutes would probably be a day-to-day type of activity of training. Wonderful. And that was great. Now, that is a 20-minute, 30-minute gym workout, followed by 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, or if it's a longer run, it's a specific day for running. I've never done that. I've never done that in which I've committed myself to pulling back my gym training to do more running or different modalities. It felt scary is not probably the right word, but it felt concerning because for a long time, I don't say that I am a bodybuilder or I am a gym goer, but I held a lot of inherent value and success from a mental perspective, aka I can get in and do my day-to-day really well if I train in the morning. So without that, I kind of felt like, oh, I'm going to be missing that. I'm going to crave that training versus the run. And I've got to say, at the very beginning, I did. I felt shit pulling back that amount of training to do more running. But again, it took 6 weeks, 7 weeks of the running to start actually picking up and feeling like, oh, I'm kind of enjoying this, and not just enjoying it, but looking forward to it. And a couple of weeks ago, there was a day where on a Thursday, I had arms training followed by a longer run. And I went in going, I don't really want to do arms. I just want to get on the run. And that I have not felt at all personally. Because I don't associate myself as a runner. And that moment I went, you know what? Might not be too bad. So I think it's just also been the commitment, the ability to pull back on other things. And if I had to kind of pull out the effective philosophy around that is sometimes if you're striving for something, fitness wise, other variations of it, it sometimes takes a dedication to commit to it more, take away from the other places. And yes, it'll feel a little bit shitty for a little bit, right? Until you kind of start adjusting. But then you'll start loving it, and you'll be rewarded with, and the payoff there would be the commitment will lead to you not feeling like whatever it is that you're attacking or challenging is all that hard, and all of a sudden you'll start getting a little bit more love for it. So 2 - 5 days for a half marathon. Ultimately, what am I aiming for? Honestly, I'm aiming to not get injured, so I'm traveling very soon afterwards. I'm aiming to finish it in a decent enough amount of time. What does that look like? I have no bloody clue. When it comes to long distance running, I've just said that I've been able to do some more of it, but at no point will I call myself out and say that I'm a good long distance runner. No way. Sprinting, okay, might be okay, better than general population. Long distance running, I'm sure there's kids out there, very young kids, that are way better than me. So there I am a mere mortal through and through. But I just hope to be able to do it, to participate, to run alongside a friend, to see familiar faces in the crowd with my wife and my daughter who see me compete in something a little bit different as well. And I really enjoyed that. So there's a whole mixed things around, what to look forward to. And the biggest thing is, unless it's, again, I'm not talking to an Olympic competitor or something else there. I'm not aiming to win. And again, if my mom asks me, like, did you win? Although she won't, but I'm like, man, terrible question. Don't ask someone if they're running, if they're aiming to win, unless that they are, elite level runner. But in any case, for me, it's not to expect anything, not to set any assumptions, but more so go in with the mindset of, I've prepared as much as I can. Let's just go and participate and do and be active and not pull back when I think that it's going to be challenging, because leaning into that feeling, that the pain can also be real fun, as long as I don't have too much suffering that comes along with it, right? So expect the pain, but you don't have to expect or be led down the path of having to be in a suffering state because of it. So I'll leave it there for now, me and Morales. I'm sure I'll talk about it at a later date of how the half marathon went and describing it all and how glorious it was to finish after all the pain. I hope, I dream. But I'll leave it there. Me and Mortalites, be well wherever you are in the world. One, out.